What's up guys, Brett here, Sinclair444's brother, and today I am coming at you with a Yugi Duelist Kingdom deck profile. Now a little bit about myself. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Since it originally came out in 2002, and I've kind of dropped off from the newer stuff. I've kind of kept up to date with, the newer cards, but I haven't played as much, being a working adult now. But I've still maintained a strong interest in the classic Yu-Gi-Oh! So, over the past couple of years, I've put together some character deck profiles. And I've now assembled each character's deck from Duelist Kingdom, plus a few extras that other Yu-Gi tubers may not have thought about. So today, I'd like to present you with my Yugi deck profile. Alright, so let's start off with the level 1 through 4 monsters. We have Celtic Guardian, Feral Imp, Mystical Elf, Beaver Warrior, Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, number 1, Kuribo, Giant Soldier of Stone, Silverfang, Mammoth Graveyard. This next card is a Japanese card. It's Horn Imp. Many of you will remember this from the first series, and it has not been printed in the TCG. Komori Dragon, and finally Griffor. Next, let's go on to our level 5 and 6 monsters. So we have Catapult Turtle, Summon Skull, and Curse of Dragon. Alright, moving on to the levels 7 or higher, we have Gaia, the Fierce Knight, and of course it wouldn't be a Yugi deck profile without his Dark Magician. Alright, and Yugi had a couple of ritual monsters he used in the Duelist Kingdom saga. The first one being Magician of Black Chaos, the second being Blackluster Soldier. Alright, for Yugi's fusion deck, we have his Gaia, the Dragon Champion. We also have Zombie Warrior, which I believe was used when Yugi dueled Pegasus during the videotape duel in the second episode. Now, because Yugi might face Seto Kaiba if I were to do duel videos with Duelist Kingdom decks, we have Dragon Master Knight, because maybe Kaiba will somehow summon that ultimate dragon. And last, we have Black Skull Dragon, just in case Yugi was ever facing Joey. Alright, next we're going to move on to the spells in Yugi's deck. So we have Multiply, Mystic Box, Brain Control, Book of Secret Arts, Reborn the Monster, or Monster Reborn, Spell Shattering Arrow, which replaces the Living Arrow card that Yugi used in his duel against Kaiba on top of the castle, Dark Hole, which was actually used when Yugi went to the virtual reality game that Kaiba had made, and he played this card. Horn of the Unicorn, Mystical Moon, Makiyu, the Magical Mist, Soul Release, which was the card that he pulled when he was dueling Rebecca Hawkins, and he did not play it to show her the meaning of friendship. Black Magic Ritual, Black Luster Ritual, Monster Recovery, Swords of Revealing Light, Burning Land, and finally, Polymerization. For traps, we have Magical Hats, Mirror Force, Shift, the Eye of Truth. Now this next card is debatable whether Yugi would have originally owned it, and that's Horn of Heaven. Because if you remember, in the original series, Yugi used this card when doing Bakura, when all the friends put their favorite cards together to make a new deck. And because this card is more heaven themed, I believe it could be a Taya card initially, or originally. But because we're not sure, I went ahead and added it to the deck. And finally, we have Spellbinding Circle. Now, I've given Yugi a pretty hefty side deck. It surpasses the 15 card limit, but it's just there to show Yugi's complete deck. Anything that he could have possibly had with him when going to Duelist Kingdom. Now the first thing I have is his copy of Exodia, which we know that Weevil did toss off the boat, but in order to make this a complete Yugi Duelist Kingdom deck, I went ahead and added a set of Exodia. Now this next card is the only card we know that little Yugi had in his original deck. That's Blackland Fire Dragon. This is the card he used when facing Joey in the first episode. Now these next monsters were monsters that we saw Sagi the Dark Clown defeat when Kaiba was facing Yugi. That was Rude Kaiser, Battle Steer. This Japanese card is Torike. Again, it has not been printed in the TCG. And Sengen. Fun fact, Torike was also used in the duel against Weevil in the Japanese version of the show. The next card we have is Dark Sage, which Yugi managed to summon against Joey. Now these next cards were actually used in the original manga, but not in the TV series. And that was Skull Servant, which I believe was called Waito in the Japanese version. Mushroom Man, again used in the manga. Baby Dragon, and Great White. What's interesting is, as a kid, I wondered why this card was included in the original starter deck Yugi. Now I know, because this was used in the manga. Now these next cards are just some tech cards. We have Battle Warrior, in case you wanted to use Skull Servant to summon Zombie Warrior. I have 2 more copies of Giant Soldier of Stone for more defense, and for another magic card here in a second. 2 copies of Kuribo, again, because there is a magic card in the side deck that works with him. And I also have some Kuribo tokens. Going on to the spells of the side deck, we have Detonate, which is one of the many battle cards that they made for all those attacks that Yugi had in Duelist Kingdom. You know, where he would say an attack or something would happen. They actually made cards for them so it didn't seem so cheesy in the anime.
And because of the way the Karibos attack, you're about to see just as many explosions!
No! Karibo self-destruct on contact with the enemy!
So the first one was Detonate with Kuribo. Then Attack the Moon, another attack spell card that Yugi used when he fought Mako. Again, it wasn't a spell card in the anime, but they made a card in the TCG to kind of simulate that effect.
I'm having him attack a card I put on the field myself. The Moon! No! Now, Stone Soldier, destroy the Moon!
The next one is Spiral Spear Strike. That was the attack that Yugi would say for Gaia the Fierce Knight.
Now let's try this again. Gaia the Fierce Knight, attack!
Chaos Scepter Blast. Again, the attack that Yugi would call out when he was playing Magician of Black Chaos.
Attack, Magician! With Chaos Scepter Blast!
And finally, we have Dark Magic Attack.
Dark Magician, Dark Magic Attack!
The next card I thought was just a good callback to episode 1, and that was Symbol of Friendship. So clearly we see the 4 protagonist hands all put together with their happy face to remind Yugi that his friends are always with him. And then this final card is Pot of Greed. This was not used in the Duelist Kingdom saga, but most of my character decks that I've made all include this card, and I think it's just nice to include it in Yugi's deck for fairness. Finally, just some fun cards to add to the authenticity of the deck. We have Glory of the King's Hand and Glory of the King's Opposite Hand. These were the treasure cards that one needed to present to enter the Duelist Kingdom finals. We also have the Duelist Kingdom card, Set Sail for the Kingdom, the card that showed that you needed a dual glove and star chips. And finally, we have the card that Yugi won from the Duelist Kingdom. It was the card that Pegasus had painted himself for the winner of the Duelist Kingdom tournament. And this card was actually given to Rebecca as a sign of friendship between Yugi and her. So this concludes the Yugi Duelist Kingdom deck profile. This is my first time kind of doing a deck profile, so I'm sure there were many mistakes. But if you're interested in future deck profiles, like I've said, I've made every character from the Duelist Kingdom saga, plus a few extras like Mokuba and Tristan. So I believe the next profile is going to be Seto Kaiba, but if you have any deck profiles that you are super interested in seeing my take on, please feel free to comment below. So please like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I hope that I can continue to provide the most accurate deck profiles for the Yu-Gi-Oh characters. Until next time, this has been Sinclair444, out.